शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Namaste. Now we will see the meanings of Shri Vishnu Sahasranama based on Shri Shankaracharya Bhashya for verse 107, and this is the last verse that contains the namas of Bhagavan, where the 1000 namas get completed. Now we will see the verse first. śaṅkhabhṛt nandakī cakrī śārṅgadhanvā gadādharaḥ rathāṅgapāṇiḥ akṣobhyaḥ sarvapraharaṇāyudhaḥ sarvapraharaṇāyudha om naama iti. The namas herein are śaṅkhabhṛt, nandakī, cakrī, śārṅgadhanvā, gadādharaḥ, rathāṅgapāṇiḥ, akṣobhyaḥ, sarvapraharaṇāyudhaḥ, sarvapraharaṇāyudha om naama iti. So there are 8 namas herein. We will see the meanings of each of these one by one. So the first nama is śaṅkhabhṛt. Panchajanyākhyam bhūtādyahangkārātmakam śaṅkham bibhrat śaṅkhabhṛt. Panchajanya, the conch, symbolizes the tamasic ahankara principle that is the source of the 5 elements, the one who holds it. So Shankha, Bhṛt are the 2 components. So Shankha is the conch. Acharya here clarifies what is the conch that is indicated here, that is Panchajanya, and Bhṛt refers to the Bibharti, means the one who holds it. So the one who holds the Panchajanya conch, Shankha, he is śaṅkhabhṛt. Acharya clarifies the philosophical significance. What does the Panchajanya Shankha signify? The Panchajanya Shankha, Acharya clarifies that it signifies the bhūtādyahangkara. In the Srishti Prakriya, in the process of creation, we see the Prakriti, Prakriter Mahan, Mahataha Ahankaraha. So from the Prakriti, the Mahat principle, the first conscious principle emerges, and from the conscious principle emerges the Ahankara. So the principle of individualization, so that emerges. So that is also of various types, Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika, and it is out of the Tamasika Ahankara where which is also called as the Bhūtādyahangkara, from where the 5 elements emerge. And the Shankha is found in the ocean, so which is one among the very important elements, so the water. So hence, with that connection, the Panchajanya symbolizes the Bhūtādyahangkara and the one who holds. So under whose command, under whose guidance this Bhūtādyahangkara functions towards the creation of the world. So that principle, that evolution principle or that cosmological principle is indicated when we see Bhagavan Narayana holding Panchajanya in his hands. So that is śaṅkhabhṛt. That is the meaning of the nama, the philosophical significance of the nama śaṅkhabhṛt. The next nama is nandakī. Vidyamayo nandakākṣyo asirasyeti nandakī. The one to whom belongs Nandakī, the sword that stands for knowledge. So, nandakaha asya astiti nandaki, the one who holds, the one to whom belongs Nandaka, the sword that stands for knowledge. So, Nandakaha asya astiti nandaki. So, the one to whom belongs the Nandaka. What is Nandaka? Nandaka is Asi. Asi means sword. As we saw that the Panchajanya stands for the Bhutadhyahankara, here this Nandaka, this sword stands for knowledge. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, we see asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. So this samsara vriksha has to be cut asunder by vairagya, and that vairagya arises from knowledge. So this sword here is the knowledge that gives rise to the vairagya. What kind of knowledge? The knowledge that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses, but I am the pure Satchidananda Swarupa. That is the knowledge. That is what is the sword. And with that sword arises the vairagya, the detachment from the body, mind, sense complex. And with that vairagya, the worldly life has to be cut asunder and the feet of the Lord has to be reached. So that is signified by this naama nandakī. The next naama is cakrī. There are a couple of interpretations. We will see them one by one. Manastatvatmakam sudarshanakyam chakramasya stiti cakrī. The one to whom belongs the Sudarshana, the discus, that stands for the Manas principle. So, Chakram asya astiti cakrī. The one who has the discus or the chakra, he is cakrī. So here we see that what is the name of the chakra that Bhagavan wields? It is called as Sudarshana. And what does that Sudarshana chakra stand for? This also has been seen earlier in one of the namas. So this Sudarshana chakra stands for the Manas Tattva. We are all aware of the great potentials and the speed and capability of the Manas. Manojavam, we say that. Even Anjaneya is praised as Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam. So the one who is endowed with the speed of the mind. So the Manas is always associated with the swiftness. So, and in the Puranas and also in the various traditional literature, we see the great prowess of Sudarshana Chakra, the unmatched prowess of Sudarshana Chakra, the swiftness of Sudarshana Chakra in eliminating the evil. So such Sudarshana Chakra represents the Manas Tattva. The Manas has great potentials, but such Manas with great potentials has to be an instrument of the Bhagavan. So as the Sudarshana Chakra is an Ayudha of Bhagavan, similarly this mind with enormous potentials should be a capable servant or a capable instrument for Bhagavan Narayana. So that is indicated through the first interpretation, cakrī. The next interpretation is samsara chakramasya parivartata itiva cakrī, or the one by whose command the cycle of the worldly life goes round and round. So here in the second instance, the chakra or the discus or the cycle is the samsara chakra, the cycle of birth and death, creation, sustenance and destruction, annihilation. So this cycle goes round and round and round for the Jivatmans to emerge, exist and do their sadhana towards self-realization. So this samsara chakra operates the creation, the sustenance process, and also the dissolution when the time comes. All this chakra is a cyclical activity which is never ending, and this samsara chakra is maintained or is made to go round and round by the command of Bhagavan, and hence he is the lord of this samsara chakra. To him this chakra belongs to, and hence he is Chakri. The next nama is śārṅgadhanvā. Indriyadhyahankaratmakam śārṅgam nama dhanurasyastīti śārṅgadhanvā. The one to whom belongs the bow śārṅga, that stands for the rajasika ahankara that causes the senses. So in this nama we see two components, śārṅga and dhanu. So śārṅga is the name of the bow, and then the one to whom this śārṅga belongs to. So he is śārṅgadhanvā, Bhagavan Narayana. And then what does this dhanu or what does this bow śārṅga stand for? It stands for indriyadhyahankarat. So we have previously seen bhutadhyahankara, that ahankara principle which leads to the emergence, or which is the cause of the emergence of the five elements, panchabhutas. And the same ahankara, when rajas dominates that ahankara, what emerges is the indriyas, the karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas, all our sense organs. They emerge from the rajasic dimension of the ahankara, and so that is represented by the dhanuhu, the bow that Bhagavan Narayana wields. So hence he is śaṅgadhanvā. The next nama is gadādharaḥ. Buddhi tattvatmikam kaumodakīm nama gadām vahan gadādharaḥ. The one who carries the mace kaumodaki, that stands for the intellect principle. So gada and dhara are the two components. Gada refers to the mace. Mace is a weapon. And dharaha, the one who wields or holds. So the one who wields the mace. What is the name of the mace? Kaumodaki. Kaumodaki is the name of the gada, and the one who wields that kaumodaki is gadādharaḥ. And what does that kaumodaki stand for? It represents the buddhi tattva, the intellect principle. We have seen that the panchajanya stands for that ahankara principle from which the five elements emerge. And we have also seen that the dhanuhu, the śārṅgam dhanuhu, that which stands for the indriyadhyahankara. So it stands for that indriyadhyahankara. So now comes the buddhi tattva, the intellect principle. That intellect principle is represented by the gada that Bhagavan Narayana wields. In essence, that Bhagavan Narayana is the entire cosmos. All the causal elements are represented through the various ayudhas that the Bhagavan wields. And then the sixth nama is rathāṅgapāṇiḥ. Rathāṅgam chakram asya pāṇau sthitamiti rathāṅgapāṇiḥ. The one in whose hand stays the limb of the wheel, chakra. Here Ratha, Anga, Pani are the three components of this nama. Ratha is chariot, Anga is limb. So Rathanga means the limb of the chariot. What is the most important limb of the chariot? It is the wheel. So Rathanga refers to the wheel, which stands for the discus, the chakra, and which is in the chakrakara, which is in the shape of the discus. And then Rathanga and Pani. Pani is hands. So the one in whose hand this rathāṅga, the chakra, the discus, the sudarshana stays. So this nama rathāṅgapāṇiḥ points to the same previous nama cakrī, the one who holds the chakra. So it indicates, the repetition indicates the importance of the Sudarshana chakra and the importance that it signifies. That is, we have seen twofold interpretation previously, that Sudarshana chakra stands for the manas tattva, for progress in life, both in spiritual and worldly dimensions. What is to be controlled? What is the instrument which should be guided properly? It is the manas. So hence this rathāṅgapāṇiḥ principle, or this rathāṅgapāṇiḥ nama, is repeated once again to indicate manayeva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoh bandhaya vishaya saktam muktयै nirvishayam smritam. So mind is very important, either if towards bondage or towards the spiritual state, attaining the spiritual state, moksha. So to indicate that the disciplining of the mind, the focusing of the mind, the refinement of the mind, so which is very important. So that is signified, or that is implied by the repetition of this nama rathāṅgapāṇiḥ. And the second interpretation also is worth recollecting, that chakra represents the samsara chakra. All this entire creation goes round and round and round only because of the grace of Bhagavan. And to get out of this vicious circle also, we should develop this bhavana of Ishvara pranidhana, surrendering to the higher force. So that attitude of surrendering to Bhagavan Narayana, so that should be developed. So that is also indicated. So the twin principles of regulating the mind and also developing an attitude of surrender, so that is very significant. And hence through this nama rathāṅgapāṇiḥ, that is reminded, which has already been stated in the nama cakrī. The seventh nama is akṣobhyaḥ. Ataeva ashakyakshobanah iti akṣobhyaḥ. Hence it is impossible to assail him. So akṣobhyaḥ, ashakyakshobanah. So the one who cannot be assailed. Kshobhana is to assail. Ashakyakshobanah, the one who cannot be assailed. Why? Because he is endowed with these many divya ayudhas. So the chakra, the khadga, the sword, the discus that he has, then the śārṅgadhanvā, and all these weapons, as he is endowed with all these powerful weapons, it is impossible to assail Bhagavan Narayana. And it also reminds that a jnani who is endowed with, or who has an understanding of all the principles that are there behind these ayudhas, that the principle about the manas, that Bhagavan is the one who operates the entire creation process, sustenance and also dissolution, and then the need of developing knowledge, and then understanding the evolution process. So all that is signified. So the jnani who is endowed with this knowledge, who has this understanding and who has realized this, he is also akṣobhya. So that jivan mukta who has attained such an understanding about the jagat and the paramatman, he is also equally unassailable. He cannot be shaken. So the jivatman who is, or the jivan mukta who is established in such understanding, cannot be assailed, cannot be shaken. That's why even in the Bhagavad Gita we see yasmin sthito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate. So on being established in such deep knowledge about the nature of the world, the knowledge about one's own true nature, and also the Bhagavan Narayana and the Jivatman's non-difference from the Paramatman. So established in such an understanding, he is unassailable, and such a Jivatman is not different from the Paramatman even. The eighth nama is sarvapraharaṇāyudhaḥ. केवलम् एतावन्त्यायुधान्यस्येति न नियम्यते, अपि तु सर्वाण्यपि प्रहरणानि आयुधान्यस्येति सर्वप्रहरणायुधः। आयुधत्वेन अप्रसिद्धान्यपि करजादीनि अस्य आयुधानि भवन्तीति। अन्ते सर्वप्रहरणायुधः इति वचनं सर्वेश्वरत्वेन दर्शयितुम्. It does not mean that the Lord has only these many weapons. All the weapons are his weapons. Even those that are not known to be weapons, like fingernails, become his weapons. At the end, sarvapraharaṇāyudha is stated to show that the Lord is all powerful. Sarva praharana ayudha are the three components. Sarva, all, praharana, weapons, ayudha are his weapons. So any weapon is a weapon to Bhagavan Narayana. So as has been very explicitly clarified, very lucidly clarified by the commentator Acharya himself, that it is not that as we see in the Swarupa of Bhagavan, he is not merely endowed only with the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, all these only. So everything can become an instrument in the hands of Bhagavan Narayana. In the Kenopanishad, we see just a blade of grass. Bhagavan Narayana uses the blade of grass as his weapon to teach the gods themselves who don't understand that it is the Bhagavan or it is the Paramatman who operates through the Jivatman to the various accomplishments in life. So the Jivatman attaining Ahankara, that he attains, or he by his prowess he attains everything. So that is not the reality. To prove that, Bhagavan uses just he takes the avatar of an yaksha and then just uses a blade of grass. One can look into the Kenopanishad story and understand that even a blade of grass can become an instrument, can become a potent weapon to cut asunder ignorance. So to signify that anything can become a weapon in the hands of Bhagavan Narayana. Even in the Ramavatara, we see again the blade of grass. So Bhagavan Narayana, Lord Rama, uses a blade of grass and he throws it at Jayanta, who has taken the form of a crow and who disturbs, who bothers, or who troubles Sita Devi when Rama and Sita are alone. So then that blade of grass becomes a Brahmastra and chases Jayanta to the end of the world, and finally Jayanta surrenders to Lord Rama and then he is forgiven. So just a blade of grass even can become the instrument of Bhagavan Narayana. Acharya here again indicates those that are not even conventionally known as weapons. They can also become the weapon, just like in the Narasimhavatara, by his mere fingernails, he decimated the Rakshasa Hiranyakashipu. Thus, all the weapons are the weapons of Bhagavan Narayana, and all that is not known to be a weapon can also become weapon in the hands of Bhagavan Narayana. So why has this been shown? As has been stated in the Bhashya itself, that Sarveshwaratvam Darshayitum, the all powerful nature of Bhagavan is intended to be represented through the 1000th nama. So this is the nama, which is the 1000th nama, so which indicate the all powerful nature, sarveshwaratva. Hence this nama has been used as at the end to indicate that the Bhagavan is all powerful, and then one needs to develop the attitude of surrender, that he is all powerful and he will take care, and all our worries, anxieties and difficulties we can lay it at the feet of Bhagavan and rest assured that all our concerns will be taken care of and we will be blessed with saukhya. Sarvapraharaṇāyudha Om Nama iti. So dvirvachanam samaptim dyotayati. Repeating twice indicates conclusion. So we have seen that the sarvapraharaṇāyudha is the 1000th nama, and that is repeated here. Why is this repetition? Acharya clarifies that repeating the sarvapraharaṇāyudha indicates that this is the conclusion. When in the Parayana we would have started from Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaraha, and then we come to the nama 1000. So when it is repeated, then we come to an awareness that yes, we are concluding this nama Parayana. So this is to make a person mindful. So in the process of the Sahasranama Parayana, what happens? A person may repeat or keep chanting the namas of Bhagavan Narayana and may be immersed in the awareness of Bhagavan Narayana. So to bring to an end, to bring to a conclusion the session of chanting, so this repetition of this nama is given so that the awareness can be brought back again. So this is the Uttaranga. So this repetition can be taken as an Uttaranga practice. So after worshipping, we have to conclude it in a proper manner. So that awareness towards concluding the Parayana session is brought about, that mindfulness is brought about by the repetition. So dvirvachanam samaptim dyotayati. Or at least when a person is chanting, when one comes towards the end, so in the process a person may have got distracted by various thoughts which we may experience. So we keep chanting from Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaraha. We keep chanting all those namas, but not many times our mind is fixed with the nama. But finally, at least when we come to the end, when the nama is repeated twice, we suddenly realize, oh, we have drawn close, or we have completed the chanting. At least let us just for a moment. So though we have chanted verbally these namas, now at least towards the end when we are chanting it twice, this awareness is brought back, and then we focus at least for a few moments at the feet of Lord Narayana. So it serves both the purposes. For a person who is totally immersed, to bring him back to worldly awareness, this repetition twice serves. Or a person who is distracted while chanting, this repetition twice brings him back to the focus and at least makes him remember the Swarupa, or make his mind dwell in the Swarupa of Bhagavan at least for a couple of moments. So though this simply looks like a repetition, this repetition is also very insightfully, with so many meditative and devotional insights such as this, has been presented by our elders. And what is the Omkara there represent? Acharya clarifies, sarvapraharaṇāyudha Om. Omkarascha mangalartha. Omkara indicates auspiciousness. So by the chanting, by the recitation of the Sahasranama, let us all attain all the well-being, all welfare, all the desires that we have in our mind. Let them be fulfilled. all difficulties be overcome, so that auspiciousness, let that Mangala come. So with that indication, the Onkara, with that to signify that the Onkara is chanted, that intention of attaining Mangala. So that is conveyed through the Onkara. At the end, we have, it's known in the Puranas that Onkarascha Athashabdascha Dvavetau Brahmana Pura Kantham Bhitva Vinirjatau Tasman Mangalika Ubhau. The mere chanting of Onkara, the mere vibrations of Onkara is very auspicious, and the intention here is that let this chanting of the Sahasranama bring about all auspiciousness, all Mangala Sukha Saubhagya. And there is a Namaha iti. So ante Namaha ityuktva paricharanam kritavan. At the end, stating Namaha, he has saluted the Lord. Seva, paricharana means salutation or seva. The seva of the Lord or the ultimate surrender or salutation is conveyed through the last namaskara. So a verbal salutation, and by chanting this physically also one can do the namaskara. So for that purpose the word namaha is also indicated, and iti is just the marker of the end, as atha marks beginning, iti marks the end. So the namaskara of Bhagavan. So that also has a lot of significance. To that Acharya says, Bhuyisthante nama uktim vidhema iti mantra varnat. So the namaskara of Bhagavan also needs to be done. So verbally and also physically. So that is prescribed in the Vedas themselves. Through this mantra, Bhuyishtante nama uktim vidhema. Apart from chanting the various namas, namaskara has to be offered to Bhagavan both verbally and physically. So that is in a way in an implied injunction that we see through this nama or through this word, through this expression namaha. And what is the benefit of doing namaskara? Acharya quotes so many verses. At the end, I'm just presenting just one verse, which is very powerful verse. There we see एकोऽपि कृष्णस्य कृतः प्रणामः दशाश्वमेधावभृतेन तुल्यः दशाश्वमेधी पुनरेति जन्म कृष्ण प्रणामी न पुनर्भवाय. So offering just one salutation to Bhagavan Krishna is equal to dasha ashwamedha avabhrita. Avabhrita is the ritualistic snana that is done, the bathing, ritualistic bathing that is done at the end of any great yajna. So just uttering one nama and saluting Krishnaya Namaha, this one Namaha that is uttered to Sri Krishna is equal to taking bath in 10 avabhritas or in 10 Ashwamedha avabhritas, is equal to taking bath in the completion of 10 Ashwamedha yagas. But what is the difference between the Krishna Pranama and Avabhrita Snana in 10 Ashwamedha Yajnas? It is clarified in the same verse that Dashashwamedhi Punareti Janma. The one who does the 10 Ashwamedas and does the Avabhrita Snana, he comes back. He is born again. But Krishna Pranami, the one who salutes Bhagavan Krishna with wholehearted devotion, na punarbhavaya, he does not come back. He attains the lotus feet of Bhagavan Narayana, the Satchidananda Sarvavyapi Paramatman. Thus, with these 8 namas in verse 107, we have thus far seen 1000 nama. Om कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।